Success with Ashley Owens on RVN TV. Thank you so much for joining us the week before Christmas because it's the week before the holidays and I have no idea where the hell February went. Today we have the pleasure and privilege to be able to chat with the lovely Cate Heaman of Prelude Solutions.
Yes.
So I'm having you on the show because I've known you for about a year now, I think, since when I first started my own business.
That's right.
So we're on a new set, and by a new set, I mean fancier set, because there's my face, because I need my face everywhere. And here's a nice table, because I wanted to be fancy, and now you don't see the rolls when I sit down, so it's a good thing. It's called the Freshman 15 when you start a business. You just eat your feelings. It's pretty much how it goes.
Okay,
so,
yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh, did I forget to blend?
Oh,
a little blendage. I don't know.
It looks fine. It looks fantastic.
Well,
please.
Well, thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
So you're the CEO of Prelude Solutions. So
I am CEO, founder. Yes, yes. And just got our certification about a month and a half ago.
No kidding.
It's official.
Okay, so tell me, what is that process like for you?
Well, the process, it was a rigorous process. It took about 7 months.
Okay.
But the good news is I had a lot of help. Yeah. Everything about spreadsheets and check this off and check that off.
Well, you're type A, so I'm sure that would have been
and
easy
it was
for you to
perfect.
go
Yeah,
through.
exactly. Right. Well, I didn't actually. I delegated it.
Right. Everybody has 1,000 things on their plate has to do.
Right. Right. No, I'm lucky. I have a COO, CFO, and she was able to really take that process on and you know, some assistant help. So, but it was a process, and we got through it. And there's a lot of documentation and a lot of information that you need to give, but we did it. Yeah, it was wonderful.
So tell the audience who you are, what you do, and why you're awesome.
Okay, all right, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah. So the name of my company is Prelude Solutions, and broad generalities, we are telecommunications consultants. So what we do is we go in and we analyze everything that a company has, from their voice, their data, their internet, and all of their systems, and what we look at is all of the anomalies that they may have. So we optimize what they have today, we find savings, and then we make recommendations for future services. And that's exactly what we do. Okay. And I've been doing that since 2005.
So holy cow. So when people call you, what problem are they having?
You know, typically there are a couple of reasons why we would get a phone call. One is, you know, I'm not quite sure that my invoices are correct. I'm not quite sure that we're being billed properly. Can you guys come in and take a look at what we have and see if there's any opportunities for savings? Or if not, just do a check and proceed, right?
Yeah,
so
okay.
that keeps people up at night, you know. Are the bills correct? Am I being billed properly? And the other reason why people call us is because, you know, we take a look at what they have today, and a lot of companies are using antiquated systems and solutions. So we want to bring them into newer technology, unified communications. You know, they're using desk phones where we can now use your mobile phone for your internal, external calls. You can, you know, move it right from their desk to take it right on the road to your conference calling, to your Skype, to your video. Wow. So it's, you know, that's another reason why people want to get into this, you know, new century here.
When you work with people, what industry do you work the best with?
Well,
or do you prefer? Because again, you can work with anybody that has this problem, but where do you typically, when you know this particular industry has this common problem, that would pretty much call you and ask you for that?
Right. We do a lot in the pharmaceutical industry. But you know what it is? It's really size, because typically organizations that have approximately 100 employees or more will have multiple sites and multiple means of needing communications, whether they have a sales group or they may have, you know, people on the road that are just for service people, right? So then you really want to be able to take a look at, you know, all those multiple divisions of their company and make sure that everyone's communicating properly. So, you know, I really think it's more so as a size, multiple locations, and, you know, we just we have a lot of pharmaceutical companies that we work with, so that's just one of our verticals. And a lot of companies that have people that are on the road. Yeah, so that's another area that we end up in.
So a pharmaceutical company calls you up and says, I need you guys to look at ways we can save. And so that could be on what kind of area?
It's all in their voice
services.
On the invoices and their voice services. So they're local, they're long distance, their internet, their data, their mobile devices. So what we're doing is we're doing checking and proceeding against all of their contracts that they have, and we're looking at their invoices versus their contracts versus their customer service records versus, you know, their actual contracts that they have with their carriers in place too as well. So there's a lot of different, multiple facets across multiple types of areas, from paper to, you know, pulling customer service records. Everything has a portal now with all the carriers we're looking at against their carriers.
So, okay, so you're taking a full audit.
Yeah.
And you're making the process easier.
Yep.
And making it and saving them money on
Yep.
that. Wow. So when you're talking about people that travel, a lot of salespeople travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in the pharmaceutical world, those guys are going everywhere.
Absolutely.
Those men and women are going everywhere.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's, like I said, I mean, I mentioned that because we have some pharma, but a lot of it we do service industries, and you know, it is really the size of the organization where we'll be able to make a difference.
Yeah.
You know, I can't make a difference on an invoice that only has 20 people, and you know, I could check and proceed it, you know, but it really doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I'm not going to find a lot of money there.
Right, especially when you get some groups that are that small. So, okay, so you are a woman in business.
Yes.
Which obviously comes with its challenges.
Yes.
Which is always exciting to chat about. However, how did you get started? What was the drive to start Prelude Solutions?
Well, that's a great story. So I worked at a company called ATX for 7.5 years, and that's where I learned how to schlep local and long distance internet up and down the Eastern Corridor.
You're always going to schlep somewhere.
Schlep somewhere, right? Yeah. So I mean, you know, I was a salesperson, started off in, you know, right at the bottom, and made my way all the way up to the top in 7.5 years. And what had happened was really after they did many renditions of their organization, I decided to go off and start a business on my own. And the reason why I did that was because every invoice that I would bring out to the customer, right? When we bring on a new customer, we'd have to come on site and we'd have to review our first invoice.
Right.
And every invoice would be incorrect, every time. And I'm the one that would input it, or my client care would input it. So in an organization of like that point, we had 350 people at ATX, right? You could walk up to the 3rd floor, you can correct the invoice, and you come back and you have a happy customer, you get their credits put on, you show them their invoice the next month, and it's all accurate, or within a month or two, you get a credit or two. So what had happened was I realized that there's a business here, because back in the day, right, MCI, AT&T, Verizon, you couldn't walk up to the 3rd floor of any of those companies and correct an invoice, right?
No.
So,
I actually learned how to negotiate from watching my mom yell at the people at Verizon.
Right. So, you know, I had been lucky. I had met another colleague in the industry, and her and I went off and we started our own business, and we started CSG Global, right? Yeah. So, and we started looking at communications, invoices, doing RFPs, doing project management. And then we got into, in 2008, so that was 2005, and we grew to, in 2008, we brought on hardware and software.
Okay.
Okay, and it started off with the Nortel business, and we migrated into Avaya and ShoreTel.
Okay.
And so we grew to 45 people, over about 12 million. And then about 2 years ago, what had happened was I no longer wanted to really be shoehorned into Avaya and ShoreTel. Okay. And I saw that the premise solutions were going into the cloud. So, you know, I thought it would be a really good idea to really, at that time, break off and take the consulting business that we had at CSG and start working on going back to my roots, if you will, and getting back to doing consulting and actually being more of a broker for all the other solutions and systems. So we're able to then take and migrate premise solutions, so on-premise phone systems, right, and migrate them into the cloud or bring them into a hybrid solution. So it's really a full consultative approach, taking a look at what they have, you know, finding savings, putting that money back into their budget so that they can upgrade their technology and increase their overall communications strategies for the next, you know, couple of years. And that's really what it was. So, you know, CSG still exists today, and you know, we were able to take the consulting off, and you know, here we are, year 2, and I just grew 45%. Actually, I just got the numbers yesterday. It was 40. Kidding. Now it's 45% since last year.
Holy cow!
Yep. So I'm really.
Oh, we should not be having water. We should be having champagne or something. Next time, I'll bring more better stuff.
We were able to grow 45%.
What do you attribute
in year
that
2?
What do you attribute that to?
Networking.
Yeah!
Oh, there we go.
Welcome. No, but really, I mean, do you think it has a lot to do with just how you guys grew and how, you know, you decided to take, because a lot of the times what I'm learning is when you're in a business for yourself, there's a lot of trial and error because
absolutely.
You know, you can work with mentors, you can do all these things, but it's kind of like fail, figure it out, fail again, succeed, kind of fail again, and then succeed again. So how did you,
I'm going to tell you,
like roundabout?
Well, I'm going to tell you. So when I first started back off again, and it really was truly starting all over again. I had 5 consultants, and you know, it was very hard to operate as a small company again. So in my first year, I believe that I was still in that mentality of I would call it a medium-sized company, right? And I was still a small company, but you know, this is small, right? And I wasn't able to really get down and get into the nitty-gritty. What I was doing was in my first year picking up the hood of the car and doing all the process and procedures all over again. So it was all operations, right? And while I was, you know, keeping the sales going, because we had some, we brought some customers with us, right? So it was all starting the whole, how do I get my name out there again? How do I start all over again? How do we reinvent, you know, what we're doing and make it sound, you know, sexy.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean, you gotta have that messaging and how to bring it, bringing the sexy back in.
There you go. So, you know, it was really, my first year was very difficult because it was hard to get back into that mentality that you're starting all over again. You know, and the same problems that I had when I started all over again, they were still there, right? I knew a lot more because this was, you know, I guess 11 and a half years later. But, you know, the great news is that year 2, you know, I just rolled up my sleeves and doing what I do best, and which is networking, getting back out there, you know, and I love sales. So me being in the operational roles, I mean, I was able to find I have a strong person that was able to take over operations, so I don't have to do that, and I'm just best out there selling.
Perfect. So when we return, we talk to Cate about her tactical tips and practical takeaways on networking that has actually given her a 45% increase in her business. So when we return, we're going to hear all about what she did, because I certainly want to know. See you soon.
RVN TV is a platform for people of any industry to share their story. Over 285,000 viewers are tuning in to RVN TV shows monthly. We guarantee a great experience that you'll be sharing with everyone you know while increasing your personal and company's brand awareness. But what is your brand? According to Forbes, it's a combination of your logo, your product, your design and feel, and your personality. Did you know that aside from being a guest, we offer even more opportunity to boost your brand? Adding your company logo and website on screen during your interview will allow viewers to recognize your brand instantly. Incorporating images and video clips is another great way to showcase your product during your live segment. Let viewers see how good you really are. And most importantly, there's you and your interview. For less than the cost of a newspaper, direct mail, or a magazine ad, you can leave our studio and within 48 hours have a permanent digital copy of your live segment to link to your social media, embed into your company website, or use in email marketing. Investing in your brand is so very important, and we can't wait to have you as a guest.
And welcome back to Connect to Success with me, Ashley Owens, where we talk to the power networkers of the greater Philadelphia, South Jersey area about their tactical tips and practical takeaways. Cate, thank you so much for being here today. From Prelude Solutions, Cate is one of those people that her background was in sales. She started her own business. She took some of the issues that she was seeing that were, you know, occurring in the industry, and she found a solution for it. So within the past year, you said you grew 45%?
I did.
Holy crap. So I want to learn how you did that via networking, because that's what the show's about. But like,
that is how I did it.
Yeah, but
that is how I did it.
Here's my question. One of the challenges I had when I first started doing the networking thing, like it's a thing, it's a job.
It's a thing.
It's a career. How did you separate your sales mentality
right.
to your networking mentality, because we both know that networking is a marketing opportunity, not necessarily a sales one.
Right.
So how did you separate the two to not make it, to not close, but build that relationship in a way that wasn't so like stereotypical sales-like? And that, there's no right answer.
So,
I'm just curious to see what your mindset was.
Okay, so one thing that I did right away is I had a networking group that I had started 21 years ago.
What's it called?
It's called the Energy Group.
Okay.
Okay, and John White and I started it 21 years ago.
Wow.
Okay, 1990, I guess, actually it's 20 years ago, we're still in 20th year. Wow. 1998. Okay, and I said, you know what, and that group has ebbed and flowed over the years, and I said, this is one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to get this right back to where it needs to get to.
Yeah.
So we went back to meeting the second Tuesday of every month at the 10 Stone, and it's 3:30 to 4:30, and there's agenda, and you have to you follow this agenda. But what I have learned about networking is you have to meet with somebody in between in that group. So you have to meet with you and I sat down and we met, and you talk about what your business is, what are you looking for, who do you want to speak to, who are the key people that help you get into other businesses, like and the stakeholders is what we call them, right? And then the reality is of doing that is I make sure that right after I leave that meeting, I make sure that they get an introductory email from me that says, 3 bullet points. They can send that email right on to the 3 people that we agreed that they were going to send it to. And I ask in kind, please send me an introductory email as well, because I will make an introduction to at least, if I find a niche for them and a good contact, I'm going to make an introduction. It could even be another networking person that I think is a perfect fit, or it could be a direct entree into one of my current customers, or I'm ending up in a prospect. And I'll tell you another thing that I do too, which is very valuable. Okay. Is
let me get ready for this. Oh. I'm excited.
Get ready. This is something that is really helping my business. At the end of when I go and I present, and maybe I'll present findings at that time, and in my process, when I'm in my sales process, I'll go in and I'm with a customer, I'm presenting my findings, and at the end of my PowerPoint presentation, because these are the savings, everything, and here's a slide of the other people, the other industries that I may be of help, because I'm finding savings. So I always put on, I have my energy group, I put my key players of my energy group there. Hey, do you happen to need a printer broker?
Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh, this is, American Business Executives. Do you happen to need, a networking yep. So it's up there. Utility. Yeah. They always need savings in utility, right? It follows right into that. Do you need, it's having that additional network, and they're like, you know what? Even healthcare. Yeah. We do.
I got it.
By the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like to make sure that they're knowing that I'm always thinking about what else can I help them with? Right. And so it's just another hook into that customer too.
But you're becoming a champion for your network. That's how you're doing it.
That's right.
I mean, what we talk about a lot is, networking, again, is a marketing opportunity, but how are you helping other people, right? Again, it's a high-level crap that people talk about all the time, but how are you actually practically doing it?
You have to do it.
You're putting it at the end of your presentations to say, look, if I can't help you, if this doesn't work out, there's 14 other people that I can call right now to say, take the call and make it work.
That's right.
That's brilliant. And I think, I talked about this a few other shows ago, but the introduction email to make it easy for those people.
You have to do that.
So,
and it has to be simple.
Oh, yeah.
And it has to be to the point.
Yeah. And not selling anything.
My first introductory email was horrible. It was horrible. It was like paragraphs long and bold and high.
Here's my biography.
Right.
My resume.
And it's so funny because John actually sent me back an email and said, and someone had highlighted all of the buzzwords, and how many buzzwords do you need? And there was like 33, and I'm like, point taken. I get it. Okay. And I'm very open to constructive criticism, and I mean, I'm here to learn. You know what I mean? I want to do better.
Yeah, you don't take things personally.
No.
You should make the change if you need to. You don't have time to take it personally.
I don't have time. Exactly. That's
awesome.
right. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to shift over to networking event.
Hi.
That's good. We're going to shift over to how do you? Okay, so you've built. I love it because you are a power networker in my mind. You've been able to build an organization that works and that solidifies good connections. You're making everybody your champions. You're actually doing the things that you say that you're going to do, which is so much of a pain in the butt with people when you're like, here's an introduction. I love an introduction after we spoke over the phone, and your follow-up process is brilliant. It's so good.
And another thing I also do too is for some key players, I make sure that we connect, whether it's once a month somehow or once every just to make sure that I go and I say, here's the things that we said we were going to do. Oh, we missed one. Let's hit that now.
Let's crack open our laptops and send those emails out there.
And go ahead.
No, go for it. No.
One other thing I just started doing too. Okay, I was at a legacy event just recently, 2 of them.
Jersey Man.
Yep, Jersey Man.
Hey guys.
And hi. And what I ended up doing is right then and there, I said, I've got a person. I pulled up my phone and I just did the introductions right then and there because I could.
It's the same thing.
And that's
in sales.
instead of waiting.
Yeah. So
I don't need to I don't need to call you next week to do this. If I can do this now.
Give me your email.
And I did it. The last 2 events I've been at, I just did them right away. Connected people, and they're like, "You're going to do it right now." I'm like, "Hills,
yeah, exactly."
I sure am because I don't want to wait. Because this kind of stuff. I remember, and I have a memory of an elephant. So it stays in my mind.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to do it. And if I'm backed up, I will stop.
Yeah.
Drop and roll, right? Yeah. I'm like, I cannot meet another person. I've got to follow through on what I said I'm going to do. I'm a woman of my word.
Yeah.
I got to do it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I absolutely love that. So, all right. So we're kind of wrapping up, but I want you to give me.
So if you can do the introduction, if you can do the introduction right then and there while you're talking to someone, do it.
Yeah.
Just get it done.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. All right, so the top 3 takeaways from this is that just get it done. Do the follow-ups and get it done. Your organization energy group, and you're also very active in other community areas. I know we've got a couple slides for that too, that Brett will kind of sift through. But getting it done, meeting one-on-one is super important.
Super.
And then the third one, what would the last tip you think you'd be able to give? Getting it done, following up, meeting one-on-one.
And making sure you get that introductory email out.
And get the introductory email
out. Right away,
Yep. And don't make it a novel or biography.
No.
I've done it before. It's bad. It's not. I think everybody has to go through that in order to be like, I need the highlight version of my life.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us today on Connected Success on RVN TV. Please, if you need to reach out to Cate, where can people reach you?
At Prelude, so it's C Heaman, CHEAMAN at preludesolutions.com.
And you're a Jersey Man, Philly man?
I am, legacy member. I'm a legacy member.
All right, and other communities that you're a part of?
Well, I
just pass through. All right, just make it more difficult. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you all next week. Next week is Christmas and holidays. Oh my God! Thank you so much for joining us today. Stay tuned next week for the tactical tips and practical takeaways. And I can't promise this will be water next time. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of